Hi students, so welcome to the School of Geography, and I am the Geo Whisperer as they call me. So today I said I would take some time to just go through one of the topics that I'm going over in school since it's already on the board. So I use this technique to teach that is called concept mapping, or it's just really connecting ideas together. So we are looking at the topic of course, and so the broad topic here is course, if you can see that, and then we go into types of waves so that we understand how waves are formed, right, and then the processes of coastal erosion and deposition that leads to the different features. So in concept mapping, what we do, we link key concepts so that you have an idea and it's easier for you to understand in smaller pieces. So we have two types of waves. We have destructive waves and we have constructive waves. So what are destructive waves? So destructive waves are waves that are formed from a rate of 10 to 15 waves per minute or over 10 waves per minute, whereas constructive waves are formed slower and they have a range between 6 to 10 waves per minute. So one of the key things here to understand is that there are two main classes of waves or categories of waves. So let us understand what are waves or how are waves formed. So waves are formed, so you have what we call wind-generated waves that are formed where the wind is blowing over the ocean or they pass through the water and they generate waves. You have waves that are formed from the gravitational pull of the moon, and that would influence the tide. So you have waves that are influenced by tide. So you know, in every weather forecast you have a high tide and a low tide. So the high tide is of course when water is rising. The low tide is when water is receding or dropping, and that is caused by the influence of the moon. You also have waves that are generated by natural geophysical processes like underwater earthquakes or volcanic activity, and they can generate larger waves like tsunamis. So we have an idea of what are waves. So those are waves, and our two classifications are constructive and destructive. From there, we're going to move on to two important processes that you need to know in terms of coastal processes and features, right? And one is what we call wave refraction, which is up here, and then you have longshore drift, which basically deals with the movement of the wave and the movement of material. So what wave refraction is, it is where waves are approaching the shoreline or coming in parallel, but they are headlands, right? And headlands are lands that are protruding out at sea like this. So if you go to Maracas and you go to the Maracas, look out, they are beautiful headlands, and these headlands protrude out at sea. The waves that are coming in, they sometimes bend and they concentrate their energy on the headlands, and that causes the lines of weakness in the rocks to open or spread out to erode faster, and it sort of dissipates the energy of the wave, so it becomes weaker and then they go closer to the shore. And then you have what we call longshore drift, which consists of two movements. You have what we call the swash of the wave, which is where the waves brings up material, and then you have the backwash of the waves, which is where it takes out material. So the swash of the wave, right, it results in a wider beach because it brings up material or it builds the beach. So there is more material that is brought up on the beach, whereas the backwash, it removes or it erodes the shoreline and it takes more material out at sea. So we can link this with respect to constructive and destructive waves. So constructive waves, they have a bigger swash, than the backwash. And with destructive wave, you have a greater backwash than the swash, right? So with longshore drift, what you have is this movement that is parallel to the coast in a zigzag manner. The swash goes up, backwash, swash, backwash, but it's moving parallel along the shoreline, and that takes material with it. We refer to that as longshore drift. So because I don't want the videos to be too long, I'm going to stop at around 5 to 6 minutes and I will continue. So this is the introduction to coastal environments and coastal movements and the types of waves. I hope you like it. If you like this, please leave a like, comment, tell your friends, follow the page, and also leave a comment and tell me what topics you all would like me to go through. Bye.